Okay, so this is the continuation part to the food web building part. Okay, so now we're going to make an energy pyramid. So what you have to do is find the longest chain in the food web that you have. Okay, you're going to mark this in red. So you use pencil to create the web, and you're going to find the one with the most connections. Okay, for example, if you have a boba tree, um, basically boba tree or the grass or the flower connected to a cricket or a grub that would be connected to the eye that could be connected to the fossa. So you write yours in. Don't write all of this in because it might be different than yours. So use yours as the example. And then um, basically you have to find out is the niche for each organism. So what's each organism's niche? So for instance, these things, boba tree, the grass or flower would be the producers. They make their own food. The primary consumers, they're eat producers. For example, crickets they are the ones that eat the producers. Then you've got the II for example, second consumer eats primary producer consumers, sometimes producers, for example, no II. And then the fossa would be the tertiary consumer, eats any level consumer, sometimes producers. So they'll eat basically everything else. So they get that's their job. This is what they do. Okay. Then you're going to draw an energy pyramid with boxes. Each level is a niche. Please copy the pyramid below. So you're going to copy this one. Okay. And each level of the pyramid is called a trophic level. So this is what a trophic level is. It's basically the type of energy that everything's getting. So the bottom top to the top, only 10% of the energy is passed to at each level. So only 10% goes from producers to primary consumers, or 10% to secondary consumers. Only 10% of that goes to tertiary consumers, which is why it gets smaller towards the top. And a better representation of this would be this. And you could see here how the energy actually decreases as it gets transferred from one organism to the next. So you see the great decrease in energy here. Okay, so the energy flow. Energy is required for all organisms. Light energy as the sun is used by primary producers to synthesize or make organic molecules like sugar through photosynthesis. So here you go. And that's where all of our energy comes from. Without this energy, without the sun, this planet would be dead. Okay? Energy is obtained by consumers when they eat organisms that are in the lower trophic levels. Thus, energy flows to higher trophic levels. In other words, it goes from the bottom up. The plants get all the energy that we can possibly collect from the sun, and then everything else gets whatever's left over. Since only producers can directly utilize solar energy, and an ecosystem's entire energy budget is determined by the photosynthesis. So basically, how much energy goes up is determined by how many plants there are. So it's good to have plants around. Another example of an energy pyramid, this would be like in a desert right here. You could get little flowers. There's a lot of sunlight coming in here, and only 10,000 joules, that's a measure of energy, actually makes it to primary producers. Only 1,000 makes it to the primary consumers here at Cricket, and only 100 joules gets into the secondary consumer, and only 10 joules makes it to the tertiary consumer. Basically, what has to happen in order for, like, let's say this rat-like creature right here, they have to eat a lot of crickets to get enough energy to stay alive. Same thing for the snake. It has to eat a lot of rat-like things to get enough energy because every time it eats one, it gets very little energy. So as you go higher and higher, you have to eat more of the bottom levels in order to get the energy to stay alive. The Nile crocodile is a predator feeding on small and large animals, and that is an example of what? What level is the Nile crocodile? Okay. So you can make an energy pyramid for the ocean: sea snail, kelp, seal, fish, sea slug, killer whale. So basically, this is an example that you can use on the test when it says an energy pyramid for an ocean. Many of us are not very familiar with this because we don't spend a lot of time researching. We don't live in the ocean, so we are not familiar with energy pyramids in the ocean. We're more likely to identify one from a desert than we are one from the ocean. So here you've got the sea snails, um, You're gonna put this together and create one of your own using these. So what eats what? You can use previous notes for this.